Hello and welcome to everyone. I'm Deep, and in today's video session we'll be learning about an awesome AWS service that has been recently launched and what a service it is. So you'll be using this phrase after this maybe demo. So it's an awesome service. So let's get started. So the service name is AWS App Runner and it's a fully managed service offered by AWS that is used to quickly deploy our containerized web applications and APIs. And it has a lot of features, and the main thing that focuses on the AWS App Runner service is its simplicity. So using certain steps, or we can say clicks, our containerized applications can be launched within few minutes. So yes, AWS App Runner is fully managed, and you do not have to need any sort of infrastructure related experience to deploy your application using AWS App Runner. So further looking into the benefits of AWS App Runner, the first one states that it's easy to use as it provides us the GUI interface. Using that, with the certain clicks, we can just deploy our containerized applications onto the cloud, and that's pretty much of easy and fast too. And another one is scales with traffic. So it provides us the auto scaling feature. So as our traffic of the application increases by the time, then we can enable the auto scaling feature that provides a mechanism that just works with the increase of the traffic. So as the traffic increases, the application's infrastructure and other specific features get increased with the help of this feature, that is auto scaling. We'll look further it into the demo. And the most important part is it saves the time. So a developer that is just provided or handled responsibility to look after the App Runner service. So the developers work will be to develop the applications or the infrastructures related to the code. But if that developer or different manpower is assigned tasks regarding the management of the infrastructure like servers and other specific stuff, then it will be time consuming and it will need a specific manpower. So it will cost also, and it will take or consume time also. Let's say that you are using a server to run your applications, containerized applications, and some sort of issues appear, then it will just it will just create a lot of issues. So the best option would be to use this service or use other services present on the cloud. So these are the specific benefits. That's it is easy to use, scale with traffic, save times, and other specific advantages we can add on this. So another thing that we'll look further is to how it works. So the working mechanism of AWS App Runner is pretty much of simple and clear. So we'll add a source. So the source can be from the AWS ECR service, that is Elastic Container Registry, that contains that is acts as a repository for the containerized images, we can say. And once we add the source, we can just provide the build and start commands regarding the working mechanism of the applications that we are deploying. And once we put those two important steps, then we can click on review and create, and our application will be up and running. So another specific and the most important thing that AWS App Runner provides is it provides a secure URL. So there is no need to use an ACM service of AWS, or we can say other third-party tools, to implement SSL certificates on our specific domains that we can use or we would be using for the deployment of the App Runner endpoint. So the endpoint that is provided is totally secure, and you just need to add certain records into your custom domains, and your domain will be up and running with an secure SSL certificate or URL. So we'll be seeing that also into the demo. So now we'll move into the demo, and all of the things that we have talked till now will make a sense. So let's move to the demo part. So let's go to our AWS Management Console and search for the service App Runner. So here is a service called AWS App Runner. I'll open it in a new tab. Okay, once it opens, as I don't have any sort of App Runner services available right now, so my console seems like this. And in the console also we can see that there is certain sort of pricing given over here. So per CPU the pricing would be 0.064 per hour, per GB of RAM 0.007 per hour, and other additional costs for automatic deployments that we'll be looking further during the configuration of the GitHub repo. So that will be much more clear, and each build will cost 0.005 per minute. So these are the costings, and if you guys need more detailed information about the pricing of this service, I'll be just adding a link related to the pricing details of the AWS App Runner in the detail section of this video, so you can look further from there. So let's move ahead and click on create an App Runner service. So here is the main part. The step one is source and deployment. In this part we need to just provide this source where our code resides, application codes. So here are two repository types. First one is container registry, that is related or specified for the Amazon ECR service, that is Elastic Container Registry, where we can just put our containerized applications code or push from the local device to it, so that it can be easier to deploy onto the cloud. So once we choose the container registry, there are two provider options, that is Amazon ECR, that represents the private Amazon ECR, another one is Amazon ECR public. So if we have an public ECR image, then we can use the Amazon public ECR service, and if you have a private one, then we can use Amazon ECR. So for current scenario, we'll be using an Amazon ECR public provider service, and for the container image URI we'll be using this URI. So I'll be copying this one, I'll paste that one over here, and let me remove the first part of HTTPS. So this container image URI is hosted on an Amazon ECR public. So this is a sample AWS code that I'm using. So I'll be providing a link of it into the description section also, so you guys can look into further. And now once I have provided the container image URI, the deployment setting over here options are manual and automatic. So the manual deployment itself says that start each deployment yourself using App Runner console or AWS CLI. So once you choose the manual option, the codes that needs to be pushed should be manually triggered. So as Amazon ECR public does not have an automatic option enabled, so this automatic option is enabled for the Amazon ECR private, and or we can say that for the GitHub specifically. So once we put or make changes into our code in the GitHub, the changes will automatically reflect into our application that is running through the AWS App Runner service. So let's move ahead, as I am using the Amazon ECR public, so the deployment trigger option is only a manual one, so I'm choosing that one, and I'll click on next. And once you click on next, I'll be giving service name, as it the second option is related to the configuration options to provide. So I'll be giving a service a name. Let's give it a name called demo public ECR app. And regarding the virtual CPU memory, as the service is newly released, so there are only two virtual CPU options, 1 and 2, and the RAM is 2, 3 and 4. So I'll be choosing the minimum one, as I don't want to incur certain charges. We can now implement environment variables. So if you have any environment parameters, then you can specify that also as a Q value here. So I am not using that for this demo, so I'll remove it. And this is the important one, that is you need to specify the port for which your application runs on. So my demo application runs on the port 8000, so I'll be using that port. And into the additional configuration, I can provide the start commands that acts as an entry point defined into the container images. So I also don't need this one. So I'll be using start and build commands while I'll be configuring this service using the GitHub service or GitHub repo. So we'll be looking these options further into that part. And another important, or we can say the most important part, is auto scaling. So here there are two options. The first one is default configuration. That is a default option provided by the AWS App Runner console that has a concurrency of 100 requests, minimum size 1 instance and maximum size 25 instance. This simply means that once our request concurrency moves from the request level of 100, then the maximum size will increase accordingly. And if we want custom configurations, so if the default configuration does not falls under our specific requirements, then we can use the custom configurations. So once you use the custom configuration, we can click on add new and give a configuration name. Let's give a name demo conf, and we can provide the concurrency limit over here, maximum size here, minimum size over here. So you can pretty much of configure these all steps according to the working mechanism of your application and the amount of user or requests it grabs. So I'll not be saving this one right now, so I'll cancel it. You guys can save it if you want. So yes, I'll be using the default configuration option here because that would be perfect for us. And we can configure the health check option also. So all of the health check options also can be configured accordingly. And for the security, there are two options, that is instance role. So you can choose an instance role that you need to specify. If you need if your application needs to communicate with other internal AWS services, then you can use an instance role over here. And for the security purpose, another thing is AWS KMS keys. So you can use an AWS owned KMS keys as a default service, or you can choose an different AWS MS keys that you have created, or you can create a one. So I'll be using an AWS owned key right for now. For this demo, I can use specific tags. So I'll be leaving all of these options as default right now, as I don't need specific requirements for this demo. So I have put the port number here. I have choose the minimum CPU and memory limit, and I will click on next. And once I click on next, in the option 3 it shows review and create, and I'll be reviewing my application and it looks pretty much of an awesome. So I'll click on create and deploy. So once I click on create and deploy, we'll be seeing that status shows operation is in progress. So it will be taking not more than few minutes, and our application will be in available state, and the given URL will be up and running with a demo application provided by the AWS. So once our service is in motion, we'll be pausing the video, and once it comes up, I'll be joining you back again. Okay, so my application is up and running, as it shows create service succeeded, and my status is up and running, showing the status of running. So let's open a default domain that is provided by the AWS App Runner service, and yes, the app is up and running. And where is the satellite? So I cannot see the satellite. Okay, it arrives over here, and that's perfect. So our application, our sample application, this is the sample page or application provided by the AWS. So I was using that one. So yes, it runs with an awesome interface. That's pretty much of interesting. So everything looks perfect, and now as our service is running, we'll look into the further services or features of the AWS App Runner. So if we go downwards, and we see few options available over here. The first one is activity. So in the activity session, it shows us the activities that are conducted on our AWS App Runner service that we have currently created. For example, the event that it shows is create service status succeeded, and if we go into the actions and click on pause, then once it is paused and the event, it will say pause service, and the status will be something similar to that. So all of the incidents will be as a or the events that occur onto our AWS App Runner environment will be recorded over here. And into the logs, we can see that a sort of logs are available over here. Health check is successful, provisioning instance and deploying images, service creation is started, and every logs. So deployment logs are available over here. We can download it and look further into the errors if we get into one, and the application logs are also available over here. So that's pretty much of an awesome if we get into some sort of trouble. So another option is related to configuration. So these all are the configuration steps that we have configured before we were creating the service. So these all configurations are editable. So if you click on one of the edit options, then we can change the memory, we can change the virtual CPU options, we can change the port and other specific configurations, and click on save changes, and all the changes will be reflected within few minutes. So that's pretty much of an awesome service. So let's cancel all this and go to metrics. Okay, so the metrics plays an important role, right? So metrics just provides specific details, or we can say fine-grained details regarding our applications working mechanism or working process in real time. So we can see the request count, we can see the 2x response counts, HTTP 4x response count, 5x response count, request latencies, active instances, how many instances are active. So we can see currently we have only one instance running. So everything, no data available. So I think we have launched our service recently, so all this will take certain time to record all these steps. So yes, that's pretty much of an good option to look into the metrics. And another one is, and the most important one is, custom domains. So as we can see that we are currently using this endpoint, or we can say DNS, that is provided by the AWS App Runner service. So we can configure this domain, a default domain that is provided by the AWS App Runner service, into our custom domain. So let's say I have an example.com domain, then I can map this URL as a CNAME into my example.com domain, and once I hit the example.com domain, I'll be just reaching into this URL path or into our application. So let's okay, so everything looks fine as our application runs over here. So this approach was using the AWS ECR service or ECR repository. So now we'll be using the GitHub repository to set up the AWS App Runner service. So let's create another new service. So okay, so for the GitHub repo configurations in the AWS App Runner service, we'll create a new service called create service. Click on the create service options, and previously we have used the container registry service as a repository type. For now we'll be using the source code repository. So if we click on the source code repository, the one tree, the source code repository that is present right now is GitHub. So there is no other specific repository options such as code commit or Bitbucket. So there is only GitHub option available right now. So I have, I think, already configured my or connected my GitHub to the AWS App Runner service. So it's showing my connection name. So if you guys don't see this one, there is nothing to worry about. You just click on add new, and once you click on add new, okay, it's taking time to load. Okay, so once you click on add new, there will be a page displayed, and you can give the connection name and certain steps that are simple to follow, and you will be connected to the AWS App Runner and the GitHub repo of yours. And once you connect, then in the repo section you will be seeing all the repositories that are present into your GitHub account. So I have these all sort of repos. So from that repo you can click on the AWS repository that contains the code that you want to run or deploy into the AWS App Runner service. So currently my code is this one, that is Hello App Runner. So I'll click and choose this repository, and for the branch I'll be choosing the main branch. And okay, so now it has appeared. So if I click on add new, and it asks for the connection name, you can give any sort of connection name, and GitHub app application, and you can click on install another and click on next, and you will be connected to your GitHub repo. So that's pretty much a simple approach. So I have already created one, so I'll click on cancel, and yes, I have choose the repository of where my code for the deployment resides, and branch would be main. And for the deployment trigger, previously we have used the manual option as automatic wasn't present over there, so for current we'll be choosing automatic. So using automatic simply means that on every push to this branch deploys a new version of your application service. So we'll look further into that, and we'll click on next. And configuration all settings here. So instead of using a configuration file into our code, I am using this configure all setting over here. So I'll be configuring certain build and start commands in the AWS App Runner console only. So for the runtime, there are currently only two runtimes available, Node.js 2.0 and Python 3. So I'll be choosing the Python 3. And for the build command, I'll be using a specific command, and for the start command also I'll be using a specific command. So here the build command is used to install dependencies where a new code version is deployed, and start command is used to start your applications. So that's pretty much simple. So build are used to install the dependencies required to for the deployment of your service, and start command is used to start your applications. So for the build command, I'll be using PyCairo and installing the dependencies of it and the requirement.txt. So let me hit that command, yum install. Yes, this one. So I have tried that one previously also, so it's showing me this one. So I'll choose that one. So here pcairo, or we can say PyCairo, is a Python module providing bindings for the Cairo graphics library, and requirement.txt is a configuration files for installing the specific packages with the specific version. And as we all know that pp is a package manager for Python packages. So that's pretty much clear. So once our deployment starts, the build command will execute and install the required dependencies. And for the start command, I'll be using the python app.py. So this simply is a command that is used to run the Python script stored in the .py file extension. So for our code, that is app.py. And for the port, I'll be using the previous one, that is 8000, and you can use the port number of your choice as per your application needs. So yes, this is pretty much clear and looks good. So I'll be clicking on next, and yes, here we'll be giving a name. So let's give it a name, git repo, demo git repo app. Okay, that would be perfect. For the virtual CPU, we'll be choosing the minimum one, and for the others, as we have discussed in the previous video also, I'll be leaving them as default, and click on next. And once I click on next, I'll look into all of the things that I have configured once, because it's an awesome option and should be followed by everyone also, to review all the changes or the things that we have been configured once we configure or create our service. So everything looks good. I'll click on create and deploy, and yes, it will take few times to bring our this service into operations. So I'll be pausing this video right now and I'll join you back right now, right soon. Okay, so our git, that is demo git repo app service, has also been up and running, as its status is showing running. So let's hit this default domain also into our browser, and it's loading. Yes, it's loading and it's the same page. And where's the satellite? Okay, the satellite has also arrived, and yes, that's pretty much a fun part. Okay, so this thing is also up and running, as I have used the same code, the same sample code into my git repo also. So I'll be sharing that repo link also into the description section, so you guys can follow that up also. So as we have discussed all of the options or the features of the AWS App Runner, like activity, logs, configurations, metrics. So the thing that I want to point out over here is the custom domains option. So let's look further into it. So I do have a domain of mine, and let's create a subdomain of it and configure this domain endpoint, default domain endpoint provided by AWS App Runner, to see if it works perfectly or not with the HTTPS or secure URL provided by hand. So let's go to Route 53. Okay, so I have already created a hosted zone for my domain. So this is my hosted zone that I have already created. I'll go inside it, and the domain name is destipakdovi.com.np. and yes, this is the domain name, and let me add a subdomain over here. So I'll click on add domain. Let give it a name demo.destipakdovi.com.np. I'll click on save, and once you click on save, it will be loading certain DNS records and provide us those DNS records. And the only thing that we need to do is update these records with specific values with a type of CNAME into our Route 53, and within a few minutes after these records have been propagated, our domain will be up and running with the App Runner default DNS endpoint mapped. So that's an awesome way to do so, because we don't have to add a specific certificates using third-party SSL certificate tools, and using the AWS ACM service also. So we don't need to use any sort of them. So we'll just click on Route 53, we'll go inside it, and we'll add records. So there are 3 records provided by the AWS App Runner service. I'll click one of them. I'll click over here and add them pretty quickly. Okay, and the record type is CNAME, and the value is this one. So I'll copy it and paste it over here. I'll click on create record, and if the create record has been this process has been completed, I'll add the other records pretty much quickly. Yes, it provides a full name, record name. So once your domain name is provided already over here, so you need to be careful. So you just need to remove the further part. So that is a demo part. So demo.destipakdovi.com is provided by AWS Route 53, and you need to remove that part from the record name that you copy. So you need to be careful in that part. So let's copy this value, click on create record. I'll be removing that. I'll click on CNAME and copy the value. Okay, seems my 3 CNAME records has been added, so it will need few time to propagate these changes, and once these changes appear, then our domain will be up and running. So let's close it. And as the status, okay, so the status is showing active. Okay, so I think it haven't took more time. So I think it's pretty much a fast, so it's incredible. So yes, as I'm using the AWS Route 53 service, so that's pretty much a fast. So it haven't took more than few minutes, and the status is active. And so let me hit this one, that is demo. Thus this deepakdobi.com.np. Okay, this is the domain, and if we click on enter, and it shows the same AWS sample application for the AWS App Runner service, and the satellite is also the same. Okay, so if we click on the SSL one, and if we click on the certificate, and we can see that it's issued by Amazon, valid from this one to this one, and issued to demo.deepakdobi.com. So as we can see, for the SSL certificate for the AWS App Runner, we haven't configured anything. We haven't used any sort of SSL third-party tools or third-party applications, or the AWS ACM service that is used for the provisioning of the certificates, SSL certificates. So we haven't used any of them, and providing you using the certain records by the AWS App Runner service, and we have updated those records into the Route 53, or you can also upload these records into the other domain providers like GoDaddy or Hostinger. So once you add, and once these DNS records are propagated and the status comes active, then you will be able to just use that domains pretty much easily. So everything looks perfect. So within few minutes your application will be up and running using the AWS App Runner service. So another thing that I want to mention over here, if we go into services, and if we go into the demo Git app repo app service that is using the Git repo of mine. So all the codes are present in the Git repo, and the source is Git repo of mine. So if I click on configurations, and if I click on this one, so if you guys can see, there is a deployment setting, and it says automatic deployment. So if we this simply means that if I make any changes in the code of the GitHub repo at my end, then those changes will be automatically reflecting into the App Runner service. So currently okay, let me move that one, and currently demo.deepakdobi.com.np is having this sample application with our satellite revolving, and let's change certain we can say certain words over here in this application. So maybe we can say, and we are live from this Deepak's computer, so that would be perfect, and we will check if those changes appear in our apps or this application or website or not. So let's get into my repository, and the code I think present inside templates, and it's inside index.html. So I'll click on edit, and I'll search for we are live. Okay, let me check my application, and we are live. Okay, so let me choose the word live. It doesn't shows anything, so okay, it must have been shown. So if I can okay, so I think I have to manually search for those contents, so it may be over here. So as okay, now it's showing. Okay, it must have been showing over here. So why it's not showing? Let me search for that one. Okay. Okay, so I have found that one. So it's over here in the line 184. So let me make the changes. Let's say we're live from computer, and just commit the changes. So you say updated commit message, updated my index that HTML file, and that would be perfect. I'll click on commit changes, and it shows that the changes have been committed. And if we go back to our AWS App Runner service and click on services, you can see that the status has changed from running to operation in progress. So the changes are being on the process. So once the status comes back, then we can see the changes over here. So currently we can see that the option is only and we are live over here. So let's wait for a few minutes, and it won't take more than that. So let me pause my video right now. And yes, this the changes has been, I think, reflected as the status is saying running. And as we go inside the activity tab, we see that the start deployment event and the status is succeeded, started time and ended time. So it's I think pretty much of cool option. So to look the events that have been occurred onto our AWS App Runner service. So let's okay, so this was the domain demo.destivakdovi.com.np. so let's refresh it. Currently as it's showing, and we are live from before one. So if we click over here again, we can see that, and we are live from this Deepak's computer. This is the changes. This was the changes that we have made at the GitHub repository of ours. So yes, the changes have been perfectly reflected. So we can say that this option of automatic deployment also acts as an pipelining, or we can say pipeline. So we choose a source for the code deployment, and we can just deploy with an option of manual deployment or automatic deployment. So we don't have to worry about uploading our codes all the time manually into the AWS App Runner service. So once you connect the GitHub repository, any changes made to the GitHub repository by anyone will be just automatically reflected to our application in no time. So that is perfect. So so far we have just learned a lot of stuff regarding AWS App Runner service. So let's recap about that. So if we go to the AWS App Runner service, we have created two AWS App Runner services. First one is Demo Public ECR app. That inside that we have selected the public ECR service as a repository type, and the deployment type was of manual. So that thing is also up and running. And another was the Demo Git repo app that we have created, and in that we have used the repository type of Git. We have used Git as a repository type, and the deployment type was of automatic. So we have done that, and we have also configured our domain for one of our App Runner service. So the as we can see, the demo domain is also up and running perfectly, and the changes made to the GitHub repository has also been reflected. So yes, pretty much of okay, as it seems perfect, as it seems that within few minutes only we are able to launch a specific application. So that this is pretty much of simple and easy to use and a perfect service. And we can simply say that what a service it is. So this much of for this video session, and we'll be meeting soon in another sort of videos with other cloud related services. And yes, that was a pretty much of awesome service. So thank you everyone for being with me. So we'll meet soon. Thank you.